All right, let's dive into the third episode of Harmonic Warfare, the White Noise Riot. This is where the battle for Oak Haven gets really weird, shifting from straightforward attacks to full-on psychological warfare on a massive scale.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the static fever gripping the city, then get into how our heroes try to fight sound with sound. We'll follow the hunt for the Master Oscillator, break down that awesome rooftop duel, and then look at the high-cost solution that ends the chaos before we get to the chilling final discovery.
So how does this whole thing even kick off? Well, it's not with some big explosion. It starts with a sound, a hum, that you can barely even notice, until it's too late.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That's the terrifying idea this episode throws at us. It all starts quietly. People in one district just wake up angry. They have headaches, they're irritable. By lunchtime, it's not just arguments anymore. We're talking full-on brawls in the street for no reason. Something is very, very wrong.
And this is where our guy, the forensic acoustician, Elias Thorne, figures it out. It's not a poison in the water or a gas in the air. It's a signal that's hidden inside the normal, everyday hum of the city's electrical grid. The orchestra is using this wild principle called stochastic resonance to basically hijack that background noise and poke directly at the most primal part of the human brain, the fight or flight response.
Naturally, the city sends in first responders, and that's when a bad situation gets catastrophically worse. Thorne realizes the police aren't just containing a riot, they're actually springing a trap. So, the police do what they always do. They roll out their sonic crowd control gear, these things called LR-aids, to try and disperse the mob. But here's the kicker. That is exactly what the orchestra was counting on. They baited them, and the cops took it hook, line, and sinker.
And this is the genius of the trap. When the police frequency hits the orchestra's hidden signal, they combine. It's called the heterodyne effect. They create a new sound, a third frequency that is way more powerful. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire. The rage in the streets just goes through the roof, turning chaos into a total frenzy.
So the situation is completely out of control. It's up to Thorne. He knows he has to go right into the heart of that madness to find the source and shut this thing down before the whole district just tears itself to pieces.
And his mission is, basically impossible. He's not looking for a person. He's hunting a piece of hardware, this Master Oscillator. It's a little box that's hijacking the city's own power transformers. To even get close, he has to wade through this insane riot in a special suit that protects him from the very sound driving everyone else insane.
So Thorne tracks the signal all the way to a rooftop, and that's where we get our big showdown. He comes face to face with one of the orchestra's top people, an operative they call the Soprano, and she is not messing around. Check out her weapon. It's not a gun. It's something way more twisted. It's not meant to kill you. No. It's designed to incapacitate you in the most agonizing way possible by turning your own body against you with pure, focused sound.
Just try to imagine being in a high-stakes fight while having the worst case of vertigo in human history. That's what she does to Thorne. The frequency from her speaker literally vibrates the fluid in his inner ear, totally destroying his sense of balance. He can't stand, he can't focus, he's a sitting duck.
But Thorne doesn't win with brute force. He wins with science, which is just so cool. He uses this little gadget to create a burst of perfect noise cancellation, a split-second bubble of absolute silence. It's just long enough to disrupt her weapon, and in that tiny window, he makes his move and takes her down.
So, the Soprano's defeated, the source signal is off, but there's still a huge problem. The riot is still going. It's like the rage has its own momentum now. Thorne has to make a choice, and he has to make it fast.
His first instinct is just to kill the power to the whole district, but he realizes that would just create a whole new kind of panic. So he does something way more dangerous and way more elegant. He hacks the power grid and pumps in a counter frequency, a harmonic sedative, to literally retune the entire area's electrical hum.
And the effect is unreal. It's instantaneous. That raw, angry feeling in the air just vanishes. You see people on the street literally stop mid-punch, lower their fists, and just look around, totally confused, like they're all waking up from the exact same nightmare. The fever breaks. The riot is just over.
But a solution like that doesn't come for free. It comes at a huge cost. While he saved everyone from tearing each other apart, the massive strain of that counter-frequency completely fries the system. A full third of the city is plunged into a total blackout.
And this brings us to the final, absolutely chilling discovery of the episode. In the aftermath, Thorne is back in his lab,
going through the data he pulled from the Sopranos speaker.
He adds the new coordinates from her device to this map of the city he's been building since episode 1. And that's when it hits him. He's been looking at it all wrong. The orchestra's plan isn't a flat two-dimensional map, it's a three-dimensional blueprint.
And the implication here is terrifying. Think about blowing across the top of a bottle to make that humming tone. You're using the shape of the bottle to amplify one specific frequency. Well, the orchestra isn't just mapping the city. They're using its actual architecture, the buildings, the tunnels, all of it, to turn the entire city into a giant version of that bottle.
And this just changes everything. If the orchestra finishes building their circuit, they won't just be able to start riots anymore. They could theoretically find the one perfect resonant frequency to shake entire buildings to dust. A single, perfectly tuned note could bring down a skyscraper. The city isn't just the target, it's the weapon itself.